Welcome to week 13 of training for the London Marathon. We're in my hotel in Lisbon. I'm just getting ready for the day. It's like 11:30. Henry and I went on a run together this morning, editing the past week's YouTube video, doing some writing. Gloomy and rainy right now. We were thinking like, oh, we're gonna go to Lisbon to like escape the kind of like London gloom with a lot of rain. Use that as an opportunity to edit last week's vlog. I was just sitting in bed, sitting in the robe. Like, I never show you guys like my skincare and makeup. I just like don't really care to push products because everyone else is like very different with skin and beauty. I just use what I use and I don't know a lot about it, but let's show you my skincare, okay? I always had hormonal acne and I had rosacea in high school. When I went vegan, it actually cleared up a lot of my skin. I think because I was eating a lot more fruits and vegetables and just like not as much processed food. So I kind of got rid of that in high school, but I still have a lot of breakouts here. That's kind of my problem area. And so I try to always use something that is like an acid or a retinol or like doing masks at night. The thing that works for me is just using face oils. So this is by The Ordinary. This is not sponsored. This was gifted to me. I have used rosehip oil before by different brands. There is 100% fermented YouTuber rosehip seed oil, and I just apply this all over my face. I worked at a green beauty store that doesn't exist anymore called Cat Beauty. It was in the West Village, and basically I sold like a bunch of health and wellness products. These rich like West Village and Tribeca mommies. So a lot of times with CMOS girlies, people would ask like, how do you know about like Moon Juice or Augustina Bader? All these like holistic brands, and it's because I worked retail at a store. So I was selling these products, so I had to like learn what they were. Very interesting job from like a socioeconomic perspective to see people just drop $500 on like random skincare and random supplements all the time. I love the people there. Half the crew was estheticians that were giving facials during the day, and then half the staff was like retail. Some of my best friends were from that job. It was a different time. It was like when I was in college, I was working there twice a week. Like whenever I wear my glasses, I feel like I don't like wearing makeup because it just like smudges or you don't really see it underneath my glasses. Here's my little makeup bag. I think I'm just gonna apply some trusty boy brow and like maybe a lip and call it a day. Okay, did that work? Sure. I don't know if that like made me feel better. One thing about my beauty routine is that I'm consistent and loyal to brands. Glossier was like the first makeup brand I ever bought. My sister and I joke that like we didn't have makeup or like hair products or anything growing up because our mom was very much a tomboy. Love you, mom. But mom wasn't like braiding our hair and like buying us makeup and shit. So we didn't really get into makeup until we were like in high school, and I'm so happy that I didn't because I watch teenagers now have a full face of like a drunk elephant, and I'm like, wow, it's hard to watch. You guys don't need that. You guys need to go outside and use your imagination and like play games. I've been thinking about my Substack. I opened it up to your guys' kind of like feedback of what you want to read about. And I think a lot of people want to read like my takes on breaking news, and I think it's helpful to share news, but I am not a trained journalist and I'm very aware of that. I want to like share pieces that are more timeless, I guess. Like someone asked me to share about like the students that are being detained because of their like views on Palestine, which is fucking horrific and awful, and like I can't even believe that's happening in America. Like fascism is here. That being said, to just share like the news and like kind of repurpose what has already been told in like major news outlets, I don't think that's doing much for me. And like my opinion on it is like, this is bad, like this should not happen. It feels like a very one-dimensional piece for me. So I'm trying to think about ways that I can like, I don't know, have pieces that are more timeless, maybe talk more about like US government and policies. So maybe talk about like executive orders and like laws and like how random things happen with ICE and the creation of ICE, like understanding how we got here. As I was saying, I have been editing videos and writing this morning, so I'm gonna go on a walk in Lisbon and gonna go to this like shopping center, take one of those little like Lime scooters around. Henry and I took that the first day and it was a fucking nightmare because we were going like up and down cobblestone hills. So I'm gonna go along the water so I don't have a disaster. I guess I applied makeup, not really. I'm not feeling like wearing mascara just because my eyes are irritated from my ripped contacts. That's the look, but let's go explore Lisbon. We are back in London. It's a Friday morning. I went on a run with Henry this morning and he's actually off to the airport again because Texas to watch the Final Four. He went to Duke and he's a big basketball fan, so he's gonna go with his dad and his brother, and that means that I have my weekend to myself. It's our first time being apart. I love the love to you girls that do long distance because I personally just like could not imagine doing that. I would feel so just like distraught and stressed and whatever. So I feel very lucky that we are together and make this work in London. Day 6 of me of not posting on TikTok. So it's kind of nice to have my brain just like free and not thinking about like what 3 to 5 videos am I gonna make today and what sound is trending. Just taking this break to sort of reset so I actually enjoy creating videos again. Sort of ease back into London. I have a few errands I'm gonna run. I've done laundry. I'm gonna go get groceries because we have like no food in the house. One of my friends works at a designer and they're having a sample sale, so I'm gonna go like hang out with her and check it out. I have 2 purses that are broken that I need to get altered and I've just been like putting it off. I have to do something for taxes, so I'm gonna get a lot of errands done today. I have a long run. I forget how long it is. I think it's like 18 to 19 miles, so a lot of time on my feet. I'm gonna get some gels and some fuel for that run. To be back in London, the weather in Lisbon towards the end of the trip was kind of shitty and it's gonna be really sunny and nice here in London. So let's get outside and enjoy this Friday. Errands, but I figured I should show you guys what I put in my bag. Maybe that's fun. I got this bag from Free People Movement. I have been eyeing it for a while. I don't really have like a bigger everyday bag. Once again, I only came over with 2 suitcases of clothing, so I'm really lacking a lot of clothes. And we're really learning how to utilize our wardrobe. I just don't have a lot of spring stuff yet. Like I don't have any lightweight coats. I don't have a bag like this. So this is one of my purses that's been broken, but as you can see here, like one of the straps is missing. Found the other strap. So we're gonna take this to the place to go get it altered. Hopefully they can fix it up. It's been really hard to find somewhere that fixes up purses. So this is gonna go in my big yellow bag. One of my favorite everyday purses, the zipper has been broken for like probably 6 months and I just haven't dealt with it. So we're gonna go get the zipper fixed. Gonna bring my little water bottle, my Snoopy bottle. It's so cute. This little section is like one of those MagSafe things. So technically if I took my phone case off, it sticks, but I am also very scared of taking my phone case off. If you can see, my phone screen underneath my case is actually shattered. Dropped my phone off a bike one time. The camera did not get shattered and the screen did not get shattered, but the back of the phone got shattered. So every time I take this case off, which is very rare, it's death by 1,000 metal shards. Wallet is gonna go in the bag, a little bit of strawberry gum, some eye drops because my contacts are ripped, and once again I'm very frugal and just waiting on the next pair. Some headphones, a pen, need to go grab my book. My trusty journal. I have fallen off journaling and I actually hate it. I feel like my brain is not working well because I'm not just like getting stuff onto the page. Need to get back into my morning pages. And this is the book that I'm reading for this video, which is called Utopia for Realists. It talks about different points in history of like when certain things that were deemed impossible by like politicians or society happen. You know, think about the civil rights era, think about different accomplishments. It debunks a lot of like misnomers that are kind of like treated as like factual in society. So like the idea that poor people don't know how to spend money and like homeless people spend all their money on drugs and alcohol, which is statistically not true, but gets like, you know, shown on Fox News a bunch. Because I think a lot of people, myself included, lack the imagination to think about what a better society could look like sometimes. I think about the world existing like through the way that the world exists now, and it's hard to really be like imaginative when we think about politics and what is possible. What else was I gonna bring? I have my keys here, bringing some sunglasses and some lipstick. I think that's all we got. So let's head out the door and go run our little errands. Saturday morning, it is bright and sunny. It's also pretty hot outside. I think it's gonna be like 60 degrees. Going out on our 19-mile run. I'm excited for it. I'm gonna do a little journaling to get my head in the right space and feel positive and motivated. This will be my longest run before the marathon. I think next week I have like 13 and then I'll have 9 miles and then it's the marathon, which is fucking crazy it's this close, but I also feel like I just want to run the race. Like I've been training for a long time. Let's go do our long run and I will talk to you guys after. I've been experimenting with new filming angles, if you can tell. It's a Sunday. Yesterday we had my long run and after my long run I did absolutely nothing. I'm gonna be doing some stretching right now because I'm gonna go on a walk. My rest day, so I'm just gonna go on a walk around the park just to get some sunlight on my face. How did my long run go? It was pretty typical. I was supposed to do speed workout on my long run, but I just wasn't feeling it. And part of me is like, oh shit, I'm not gonna be able to like get a good time at my marathon if I'm doing all my long runs easy. And then part of me is like, I don't really care. Part of me is like, I just need to listen to my body, and my body wasn't ready for that. And we're gonna see what happens on race day. I have been doing all my runs. I don't think I've missed a training run. Maybe I've missed the paces or not been able to hit them, but I think in the grand picture, I have been doing a good job this training cycle. I think I've just been really hard on myself in every aspect. But I have to say, like 2 days ago, I had an aha kind of breakthrough. I think I'm through the worst winter of my life. I think I'm on the other side of it now, and I think I can actually congratulate myself, reward myself, and really appreciate the struggle. I think when you're in the struggle and you don't know when it's gonna fucking end, you're like, I can't do another day. Like, to be honest, I was in a very deep depression, which maybe came through in my videos, maybe it came across more as anxiety, which I also struggle with. But I mean, I was waking up and I was like, holy shit, like, what am I doing? Like, when is it gonna get better? Like, every day just felt monotonous and bad. And it was really challenging for me because I didn't want that to like taint my opinion of London. I didn't want that to make me think I need to like change everything about myself or about my life. I didn't want that to like impact my relationship with Henry. He has been so supportive of me in ways that I can't even like express to you guys. I was really trying to pin myself down to be one thing. I was really freaking out about the social media part and thinking like, okay, I need to pivot to just do one little thing, and I need to cut off some of my interests and cut off some of my hobbies. And this was a thing that I struggled with in high school when I was deciding where to go to college. I felt like I had to be one thing, and I felt like I had to make sense to people. College applications, I was getting recruited for volleyball, and I always had to like explain to college coaches. It started for me when I was like in 8th grade, so a pressure cooker for me, and I eventually just like exploded and it became an eating disorder because I was struggling with control for stuff. I was back in a very similar place with this move to London, just really questioning everything about myself, and it was not healthy, but for some reason I could not snap out of it, and it's gonna get better at some point. And now I think I've adjusted to London. I'm in a good routine now. I feel healthy. I feel like I'm getting enough sleep and nutrition and exercise and balancing those things. I think I have a good head on my shoulders when it comes to how I want to manage social media and the boundaries that I want to set, something that I didn't have when I first started. I would just blab about everything, which was not, you know, a good thing to do. Older, my content has changed. What I want to talk about and be open about has changed. I realized that what makes me special is all of my interests and all of the things I can talk about, and I don't need to just like fit into a little box that I'm making up in my head. I'm doing enough and I'm okay, and this version of myself is exactly who I'm supposed to be. All of these little things that make me up are special, and I don't need to like let anything go, making me feel less trapped to know that there's like an abundance of things that I can be doing with my life. I'm gonna go on a little walk, and then I'm gonna hang out with a friend later today, and then Henry and I might be going to Amsterdam this week because he has a work thing there. Hi everybody, it is a Monday morning and we're going to Amsterdam tonight. Went to the gym this morning. Henry's getting home today, being at like 6 p.m. tonight. So today I'm just gonna pack and try to finish the book. Maybe I'll bring both books to Amsterdam, not really sure. But I picked up some things and I figured let's do a haul together. So I picked up a peanut butter bucket, Pippin Nut. I don't know if you can get this in the US. I think it's a UK brand, but we go through these like every 2 weeks. We're eating a lot of peanut butter. It's one of my favorites. It's a little prebiotic soda. The brand is XOXO soda. I've been having these kind of here and there whenever I see them at a grocery store. Does this mimic Olipop? No. Is it as good as Olipop? No. Will I drink it? Yeah, it's all I got for 2 years. I got Henry a card, got some tampons, so exciting. I actually got my period as soon as I finished up my run, which was a fun little surprise at the end. The show that I really want to show you, there's this bakery called Violet Bakes, and I went there to go pick up some things for Henry and I to have for like a little brunch. Cinnamon roll scone. I haven't had that. I have had this before. This is their buttermilk banana bread. It's gonna like fall apart, but banana bread is probably my favorite like baked good. Probably. I mean, I love a brownie, I love a muffin, chocolate chip cookie, I love a croissant, but banana bread's always been that girl for me. I usually really love when banana bread has chocolate chips in it, and this one doesn't, but I still love it. It's amazing. And then the last thing I got was a savory bit. This is like it's a spinach and feta. It's a chive and sour cream and feta scone. So I figured having something savory kind of amidst all this would be good for us. Let's get on with the rest of our day, and I will take you guys along for Amsterdam in the next week vlog. Okay, let's talk about the book for this video, which is called Utopia for Realists. I think this is my favorite book that I've done in this series and probably read in the past year. I think the book just appeals to like how my brain thinks about politics, and I think the arguments I found the arguments that the author has about the way that we talk about the economy and like what's politically possible to be very resonant with my beliefs about politics. Like, you guys know that I have like very high in the sky ideas about how society can get better. The point of this book is to talk about what a utopia is and how people that are on the left, progressives, liberals, leftists, whatever you want to call it, they need to be thinking about imagining a new society, not just tweaking laws that we have. In the beginning of the book, the author talks about systems that we never thought would be dismantled. So when you think about slavery and the civil rights era, women's suffrage, that was something that men said was never going to happen. There talks about economic ideas that he favors that a lot of people say are too pie in the sky to believe to happen. Alleviating homelessness, universal basic income, that people say are not politically possible because they're too, you know, daunting to believe. Taxing billionaires, eliminating billionaires from society, things that I believe, right? Whenever he brings up a new concept that he wants to see passed through policy or a new kind of vision for what a utopia could look like that would be better for all of us, the author dives into the points that you'll hear from the other side of why this isn't possible. Giving money to homeless people is not a good idea because they spend it on drugs and alcohol. The author includes a lot of data that shows, actually no, that doesn't happen at all. And there's a lot of experiments that are done in different cities to kind of get at that question of like, what would happen if we housed a bunch of like homeless people? What would happen if we gave them certain amount of money every single month? In the end of the book, the author talks about like, okay, how do you change hearts and minds? How do you get people to imagine a better society again? He talks about the Overton window, which is basically just shifting public consensus. One time, like, gay marriage was not something that the public believed should be legalized. Now, a majority of Americans believe that that is something that should be protected by law, but it wasn't always like that. And then in the end of the book, he talks about how neoliberalism is like dominant in most Western nations, and the rhetoric is kind of enshrining economic rights into political rights. So people only see themselves as a worker, don't see themselves as a person. People think that they have to work to have dignity. He says the reason that this is prevailing is because socialists do not ever create their own vision. And this applies a lot of the times to Democrats and like Republicans. Republicans set the agenda. You know, they talk about trans rights or they talk about our border wall. One thing, like, there's immigrants coming in our country, and Democrats are always on the defensive. They're just putting their own ideas into like society because they're too busy fucking defending what Republicans say. I feel like it's a pretty timeless book to just think about ideas, how things can always get better. I recommend you read this book if you feel like nothing is possible and it's hopeless and like we are set in a certain way. Things can always change. If you've noticed, I'm in another hotel room. I'm in Amsterdam right now. Next week's vlog will continue and show you guys my time in Amsterdam, but I just wanted to show you the book before we get into week 14 of marathon training. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you in the next video.